Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been a little while since we have connected and caught up, and I am well into my improvement season and my reverse diet. So I thought what a better time than now to sort of catch you guys up on what I've been doing, how I've been feeling, and what's next on the agenda in terms of competing. So I'm officially 8 weeks into my reverse diet, into my improvement season, and it's been a very challenging 2 months without a doubt, but it's not unique to me. I think all improvement seasons, all reverse diets are pretty challenging. So I'm not unique. I think I just have been like really in tune with my body and how I've been feeling and my energy levels, and a lot could be better. So I'm not quite sure where we left off last time, but I had blood work done probably like 3-4 weeks after my last competition because I just wasn't feeling great. My energy levels, my mood, my sleeping, like everything was kind of off. I wasn't feeling like myself. And if you guys have followed me for a while, you'll know that I am a natural athlete. So I don't take any performance enhancing drugs. So I know the way that I was feeling was just like my body telling me something. So I decided to get some blood work done. I did a hormone panel and a metabolic panel, and a couple things came back. Number one was my testosterone level. In all the research I've done and talking to several doctors of mine, my primary care, my OBGYN, and then another group of doctors in this hormone clinic. A woman's testosterone should be anywhere from 15 to like 75. That's like the normal range for most women my age. Of course it can vary, but mine was less than 3. So that was sort of a red flag. And then I had some thyroid results come back. My first results were that I had hypothyroid, which means my thyroid is not as active as it should be. So some of the symptoms for hypothyroidism and low testosterone are very similar. So like trouble sleeping, trouble managing or balancing your mood, low energy, a little bit of weight gain or hard to lose weight. And all of these things were exactly what I was experiencing. Basically, like I would sleep 8 hours a night. I'd wake up tired, but I'd like rally through my day. And then around like 3-4 o'clock, like a wave of fatigue would hit me and I would become so exhausted. And then, come bedtime, I would be so tired, but then I'd have trouble sleeping. And usually I get like really warm during the night, and then I get up like multiple times to go to the bathroom. So it was just like this revolving state of like just not feeling my best. And so those are the symptoms I had when I decided to go get checked out. So my OBGYN decided to have me retest for hypothyroidism because it's really important to make sure that like that is the accurate result that's measured at the lab and that there wasn't any error or whatever. Because for hypothyroidism, you need to be on medications for like your entire life, basically. And I've never been on any medication. In fact, I like pride myself in not having to be on any medication. So I was totally fine with that. I was like, I definitely don't want to be on medication, but I do, however, want to correct my hypothyroidism if that is the case. And so the second repeat test actually came back that my thyroid was normal, but I do have extremely high levels of the antibody, which could mean that I have or am susceptible to an autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's disease, which my sister has, and if it's prevalent in your family, then you're likely to get it. So anyway, I will worry about that at some. I actually haven't followed up with that, but the point is that my thyroid came back normal in the second test, and as a result, I will not have to go on medication, at least now, for that. So that's great news. But in terms of the low testosterone, my doctor, my OBGYN did suggest that I go on a testosterone cream, and it's extremely low dose. I forget the units of measure, but it's like 1 unit of measure every other day. And just for reference, like a woman's body produces 1 of this measure of testosterone every single day. So it's a very, very low dose. There's like no chance of me like getting masculine features or like growing hair or, all of these things that happen if you take a lot of testosterone. So I don't expect that it's gonna like do anything for me muscularly or weight wise because it is such a low dose. But I've been on that now for just over 3 weeks. And I have to tell you, like, as soon as I got on it, within a few days, my sleep improved like immensely. I was sleeping through the night, which never happened. So like, that's a big deal. Some of you may be able to relate to that, but I literally can't tell you like how much my sleep has improved, and that alone has been phenomenal. In terms of the energy and any of the other symptoms I felt, like the mood, I haven't really seen a lot of improvement there, but because it's such a low dose, I don't expect it to like move mountains. But the fact that it did help with my sleep is amazing. So I'm on this little bit of testosterone cream every other day. My OBGYN did tell me in our appointment that she doesn't know like how this will test for competing, you know, if I was to get like drug tests for competing. So I'm not quite sure either, but I think we know, and especially if you followed me since last year, I don't expect to do any other natural competitions in the future. So I wasn't too worried about it. And also I will like continue to do blood tests for my testosterone. And as soon as like it's at a high level, or I shouldn't say high, as soon as it's within a normal range, I'm okay to get off the testosterone cream. So I definitely don't need to take anything if it's not warranted. But anyway, I'm just happy to have that, happy to have like improvement in like my sleep quality and my mood and all these things. So that's what's been going on there. In terms of my reverse dieting, let me take you through a little bit about what Anna and I have done. So we slowly introduced calories back into the diet at the same time we were slowly bringing down cardio. And I am at like 1650 calories now. And I feel like I've gained a lot of weight. And if you're watching this video and you've seen my previous videos from like prep last year, I'm sure you can see it in my face. I feel like my face has ballooned. I feel like my stomach has ballooned. My legs feel just bigger. I think a lot of this is holding water. I don't think I gained that much fat. I think it would just be impossible. So like that's comforting, I guess, but I hate to see it, you know, I hate just to feel like puffy, like I'm noticeably bigger and like puffier, I feel like, than I was in prep, which of course that makes sense. And I do want to gain some healthy weight, but I just feel like bloated. So I don't love that. And I think if you've competed before, like, you know, the feeling going back to your pre-prep body, which is a very normal, healthy, beautiful body. It's just hard to do. And especially the fact that I've been in prep, like basically all of 2023, it's been a long time since I've seen myself with a decent amount of weight on my body. So that's kind of been hard, but what I find interesting is that usually my body type, I'm the kind of person who gains weight all over. So like my face, my arm, like everywhere, it goes everywhere. And some people think that's good. It's not, because rather than just getting it in my stomach or in my hips, I literally just look like heavy everywhere. So I don't think that's ideal, but that's just my body type. But I don't know if it's like my age or what. And I just recently turned 43 last month, like just a little over a month ago. But I'm noticing the distribution of weight a little bit different than it has been in the past. So I don't feel like my upper body is gaining as much weight as I normally would, but I feel it more in my lower body. So it's just interesting to see how your body changes and transforms over the years, over the preps, over the reverse dieting. And I just took notice of that. So I'll take it, to be honest, because it's really uncomfortable to like feel tight in your shirts or sweaters, and then tight in your midsection, and then tight in your jeans or pants. So whatever, it just is what it is. But I actually have not weighed myself in this off season, and it's now been 8 weeks, stepped off stage, and I have not weighed myself. And I haven't because I know that I really want to live in and embrace this body and this energy and this food. And I know that weighing myself will only get in my head. And not that it will impact like my actions and my day to day, but it'll definitely impact the way that I view myself. And I'm already having a hard time with accepting this body as I see it in the mirror. I don't want that number on the scale to make it even harder or to make it even worse for me. So I refuse to weigh myself. And also, I'm not going to weigh myself because I'm not going to make any changes, right? Like if I see a high number on that scale, I'm not going to cut back my food to less than 1600 calories. I'm not going to increase my cardio right now in the improvement season. So there's really not much I'm going to do if that number is disappointing. And so why even allow that to get in my head? That's kind of where I'm at. So I expect to stay here at 1650. It's a good amount of calories for me. I feel satisfied. I feel satiated. I feel, you know, full, not thinking about food, not so food focused. But we're also doing 20 minutes of cardio now. So right after the show, I went down to like 45 minutes and 40 minutes and 30 minutes. And now I'm at 20 minutes 5 times a week. And I'm really liking this because before I started competing, I think just like always, I am just a cardio person. I have a Peloton bike, a Peloton treadmill. We live in San Diego by the beach, so we're always outdoors, we're like running, walking, etc. And I'm just like a cardio person. I like high intensity. And so my body's just really conditioned to cardio and really conditioned to high intensity cardiovascular work. So I'm really, really trying to decondition myself during this off season. So when I need a lever during prep, I can use cardio as that lever. So that's the goal now. It'll be, I don't know, now I think like total 4 weeks of getting my cardio down to about 20 minutes, which is phenomenal. And then also like 20 minutes is nothing. Like you can, it goes like that, which is kind of nice because when you do like 30 or 45 minutes or more, it's like an added extra workout, or at least that's how it feels to me, right? Like one workout, one weight workout, and then one cardio workout. So this has been a nice change. So what's next for me? Well, I have officially 2 weeks left in my off season. I have decided to compete at the Junior Nationals show in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's, I think, June 20th or 21st, but I'll kind of give you like the background of why I decided that. So coming off of the show in January, the judges basically said to me as a recap, like, hey, don't grow anymore. Your shoulders are good. Don't get them too big. Your legs, if anything, need to come down, and your glutes are the right size. Just work on like shaping them. No more growth. So I really thought I'd spend most of this 2024 like working on my glutes. It's been something that I've been working on for like years. And so naturally I'm like, of course, we got to take time off and build the glutes, right? Out of a calorie deficit. So I have some food to support the growth. Well, since that wasn't a necessity, I looked at my calendar and decided like what makes the most sense. My husband has a big birthday in July, and a bunch of us are going to Greece to celebrate the birthday for like, you know, a couple weeks. And everything I needed to do competing wise has to revolve around that. That is the most important thing. I cannot be in prep. I cannot be like, you know, I have to be like ready. And I want to be ready wholeheartedly to celebrate that to the fullest extent without any limitations or restrictions. So I decided that it would be great to compete maybe before that and then after that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to compete in Junior Nationals in June, and then I'll have like a few weeks, 3-4 weeks off before we leave for Greece, which will be perfect. We'll come back, and then I will work to prep for Masters Nationals here in California in November. So I'll have quite a bit of time, probably start prep maybe like August, September, and then let's see what happens at that Masters National show. And maybe I'll do one more national show. I think there's one in Texas in December. But the aim here, the goal is to literally do everything I can to get my pro card. And again, I know that's a long shot. I know there are 100 girls that are so amazingly well qualified and deserving that I will be competing against. And so, but anyway, that's my goal. So I have a little bit of trepidation about this June show because there's no Masters pro card given. So I won't be competing in Masters, which means that me as a 43-year-old natural athlete will be competing in the open category against women half my age. And so obviously I know I have some limitations with that, some pretty significant limitations, but I'm trying not to think about that now. It's easy not to think about that now when we're so far away and when I'm improvement season. But I think as I start to prep, start to lean out, start to see like really what I'm working with, maybe some of those insecurities will start to pop in my head. But I'm going to have to manage that and navigate that as it comes. I think I am as deserving of a pro card, as deserving of getting top 3 at least, as anybody else despite the age. And so that's really what I am going to go for. So that's the plan. And then otherwise I'm just trying to eat like a whole bunch of like different types of foods. Because of this bloated feeling, I think I'm going to go back to following the FODMAP. I feel like my body has a hard time digesting foods, and as a result I get like a food baby, and not like a normal one, like a very like extended belly for an extended period of time that just feels like I'm not digesting my food. And actually we did bring down protein because I thought maybe that might help, because protein's really hard to digest. So we took protein down to 0.9 grams per pound of body weight, and I just put my body weight at 140. So we're at, I think, 126 grams of protein. And normally I'm at like 140 or higher. So I don't think that's really helped, but I might go back to the FODMAP diet and see if I can try to like tighten up a little bit or just like feel better. But nonetheless, like I feel great. My energy is great in the gym. I'm feeling super strong. We've been focusing a lot on glute specific exercises, not a lot of compound movements because we don't want to grow my quads. And also for shoulder days, I've actually been like sort of cutting my shoulder days down to like 45 minutes, sometimes even like 35 minutes, because I don't want to grow my shoulders. And I feel like that's a really easy body part for me to grow. So I've been going like a lot of like just lighter weight, more reps. And hopefully that does me well. But again, we'll see when we start to like lean down, like how everything balances out. That's the most important thing. And then final thing I wanted to mention is that I am over the red suit. If you saw my competitions last year, you'll know that I had bought a new red suit for last nationals in November and wore it again in January. But after a lot of reflection and just thinking about it, I don't think red is my color. I don't think it does anything to flatter my body. So Angel Competition Bikinis, I'm not sponsored by them, but they have like a buyback program, which is really amazing. So I think I'm going to send back my red suit and they'll give me some credit for that. And I'm going to go with a new color. So I got a bunch of swatches that they sent to me for free that I picked out. And I don't know if I'm going to go with like a blue or a purple. I'm not a really big fan of purple, but I'm just going to see what the options are, what looks best with my skin tone, especially with a tan, and find something that's more suitable. I was hoping the red was going to do it, and it's a gorgeous suit, but it doesn't like flatter my body in any way. So that will be something new for this year, much to my husband's dissatisfaction, considering how much they cost. He just doesn't understand it. So that'll be different. But anyway, I have 2 weeks until we start prep. Of course, I will take you along with me. I love you guys and thank you for all the support here on YouTube, but also on Instagram. It means a lot. And I just hope I can share open and transparently with you guys all the things that I'm going through, the good, the bad, the ugly. But that's where we are. I'm looking forward to this competition year and all the fun things that are going to be happening along with that. Follow along, subscribe, and like this video if you want to see more.